Alright, so this sucks. I did time-lapse me taking out the drive shaft here and the starter, but the video corrupted, and so you're not going to get to see that. What you do get to see is it out of the Jeep. So this is it. I'm not really going to do anything to this. I don't even think I'm going to put new bearings or anything on it, just because I have a very tight budget and this works. So I'm not gonna touch it, and I'm definitely not going to mess with that, because you get them splines off by even one tooth and you're going to get super bad vibrations. But yeah, I got the front drive shaft out, and I was working on this rear one here. I have it halfway out. Well, here, let's see if you can see. I have it halfway out, but the camera makes a beeping noise when it decides it wants to shut off, or if I've run out of memory, and it did that, so I stopped. So you guys get to at least see me take this one out. But yeah, that kind of sucks. I had it all lit up and everything nice and good, but whatever. So if you guys ever did watch my intro to the Jeep, and I was saying something about the drive shaft not really being connected to the transfer case, and you couldn't hear me because I had the camera in a waterproof case, so when I moved it, it really rattled around. But up here, this drive shaft, I'll have this thing in drive. Put it in two-wheel drive. You know, you take it out of four-wheel drive and you try to go forward. This drive shaft doesn't turn, but four-wheel drive and the front wheels do work. So what I'm thinking happened is that this yoke here on the output for the rear wheels off of the transfer case has either a missing key or some stripped splines or something. So basically it's just kind of spinning in there and nothing's happening back here. So that's why I'm going to be rebuilding the transfer case, because there's something seriously wrong in there, but I think it's just that, because it works fine in four-wheel drive, but it's just the front wheels doing all the work. But yeah, so well, yeah, that's that. That's really all I did. It took me about 20 minutes to get it done. That linkage right there is to the carburetor. I need to pick that up and put it in the box with it. But yeah, so hopefully this next time lapse doesn't corrupt and you can actually see what I'm doing under here, taking out the drive shaft. I mean, a starter's a starter. If you've ever taken out one starter, you take them all out. That was worded very poorly, but you get what I'm saying. You done one, you done them all. So I think that's that. I'm just gonna, charge this camera and get back to work when it's done. All right. Alright, so I got the rear drive shaft out. I have a really bad memory. Like, it's almost short-term memory kind of bad. I can't remember if I took it out and put it down the right way or not, because this is where the slip yoke is, and I thought that it was up near the transfer case, but I have put these in backwards before, so I think that I have it in the right orientation, but I'm probably wrong. Next thing I have to do, which I neglected to mention, is disconnect the shift levers from the transmission and transfer case. So this panel here is going to have to come off. These boots are going to have to at least be loosened and brought up. I don't know how, or if they even, well, maybe this comes off, and I can get the boot all the way off, and then I can get that panel off, and then I'll have access down into there and be able to take those linkages apart. After that, it's just a matter of figuring out how to get the, well, basically the powertrain out. You know, like I've been saying this whole time, engine, transmission, transfer case. And, yeah, then it'll be out. The Jeep can go outside. I'm probably going to take the seats and, well, basically the interior except for the dash out, and gunk and power wash everything. The undercarriage, the inside, everything. So that way it's at least clean and not so oily. Because I don't know if you'll be able to tell by the videos, but underneath this Jeep it is super oily. It's like someone took 5 gallons of oil and just kind of painted the underside of it. So there's that. But yeah, so alright, I guess we're gonna get started on the linkages. Alright, I did something, I suppose. I took the seats out in the center console just so I had more access to everything, which was a good thing because this is hard enough to get to as it is. I'm having trouble getting this plate off so that I can get at this shifter bar here. I think the gas gets stuck on there real tight, probably with RTV or something. Either that or I'm missing a bolt, which I don't think I am. Or maybe this is supposed to come off a different way. I'm going to actually look in the manual for this particular part of this assembly. But yeah, you can get a better look at all the goo. You see this? When I painted this with that undercoating stuff, one of the dogs got in here and decided to walk all over it. So, I mean, luckily it was underneath the center console, but still, it was annoying. And you can see here how bad all this oil makes everything kind of really goopy. It just melts this paint right off. But like I said, I'm going to power wash it out. So, yeah. And this was silicone. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to use on this, but that's what that is. I always thought it was supposed to be like RTV or something, but I'm kind of glad it was silicone because it makes it easier to get off that way. But Alright, guess I'm gonna read through the manual and then we'll get back at it. Okay, so here's the deal. I was looking through the manual, and I don't think that 1980 Jeep CJ7s, or any CJ of that year, came with 5 speeds, which is what this is. Well, that's not going in now. But in any case, I got this off with leverage. Basically, I took a screwdriver and I popped it off there. You know, like a man. But, yeah, so I think that really getting into this is going to be a bit more challenging if I don't grab a manual for this particular transmission, because from what I saw in my Jeep manual, this is an aftermarket deal. This doesn't come in the 1980 Jeep. So, found something else out new. Well, now I'm going to try to take off this deal for the transfer case, and we'll see. Well, yeah, once we get that off, we'll be kind of home free. I just got to unbolt everything and yank this sucker out. Okay, I got out the transfer case shifter. So, well, the way it worked was it kind of messed me up, but here it is. Now, I thought that because this was a pin and it had a cotter pin in it and all this, that you just take the cotter pin out and it would push right through. Well, the deal is, hold on, the actual shifter itself can't get past, hold on, this little bump here. You see that? So the way you actually have to do it is to take this nut off, which I didn't see from the top, but it's pretty obvious from the bottom. I think this is a nylock nut. It's just kind of old, so it doesn't work. But and this thing just spins in there, but luckily it has a kind of a flat spot here, so you can put a wrench on it and get that off. But yeah, so I don't really understand the reason for this cotter pin, because, well, I don't understand it, but yeah, so that's off. That's just kind of how that works. I've done pretty much everything I wanted to do today. It's just about ready to come out. I saw a couple of more little things. The connection to the clutch, that needs to come out. There's a spring there, but I think that that's for the clutch as well. There was a hose coming up here. Haha, this right here, that needs to come off the firewall, because that's connected to the transmission down there. I think that this was a vacuum line and they just plugged it up. So yeah, I'll look through that manual tonight and see if my transmission and transfer case are in that manual, like at all, but from what I can tell, the transmission at least is not. So that's a bummer, but I'm gonna have to figure it out. So yeah, looks a whole lot different, don't it? But that's that. All right.